Concrete. It's modern, industrial, durable, and completely customizable. You're probably thinking it's super expensive, and you're right, unless you build it yourself like we did. In this video, we're going to show you the 10 steps it takes to make your own concrete tabletop. I've used the same steps for our coffee table, ping pong table, and the one we're building today will be part of our barbecue countertop.
Amazing! Step 1 is to create your own form.
You can get creative with different shapes. When I made our coffee table, I cut the melamine into a circle and wrapped a metal sheet around it. For today's project, I'll be making a rectangle that's 42 by 49 inches.
Alright, so the melamine is 3/4 of an inch wide. So I cut these strips for the side of the form. These are 2 3/8 of an inch because I'm placing them on the side of the form, not on top. I wanted a depth or the thickness of the top to be 1 5/8 of an inch. So I have this clamped down. I'm gonna go ahead and drill some pilot holes on the side, and then we'll go ahead and use some drywall screws to put everything together. You can do it?
Yeah.
It's heavy. Okay, come over here. Let me get this screw started by hand. Good job. You did it. Was that easy?
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Too easy.
Too easy? Lemon squeezy?
Actually, you can't see me.
I can see you. And then hold the bottom with one hand. That way it's not heavy. There you go. Awesome. Yeah, if it comes out, just realign it. Perfect. Keep going. Little bits at a time. And you push forward just like that. Put it in. There you go. Good job. All right, great. Let's see. Okay. So now, hold this up. Good. And push. Just little bits at a time. Push, let go. Push, let go. Good job. You did it.
Step 2, clean the form.
Okay, so now before we bring it in the house to add some silicone to the edges and corners, we have to get it pretty clean. So Sloan, can you go ahead and dust it off? You don't want any specks of dirt, dust, because that'll actually come through to the concrete.
Step 3, caulk the edges with silicone. As you see, it was complicated.
We're back in the house. We've got our concrete form. It's nice and clean. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and add the silicone around all the edges. After we're done with that, I'm going to need to borrow each one of your guys' fingers so we can smooth it out.
No.
Is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
It's coming out, but there's an obstruction. It's not really coming out very well. You know what? I'm going to have to...
Please go to Home Depot.
No, I'm going to have to cut this more and figure out what's going on there. It's like constipated.
Gross.
It is. You see that? It's all hard. Oh, 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 oh! Oh, it broke free. All right, guys, here we go.
Why it's called silicone? Because it's cone. As you see, I'm a ballerina. It's everything recorded and got.
That's a little messy. But here's the trick. I'll show you first, okay? So you dip your finger in the water like this, so it's nice and wet. And that way the silicone doesn't stick to you. And then you just go up real quick like that. And then you wipe it off. It's gonna get messy. A lot of silicone to clean up. So then, again, let me get this extra off. And then wipe it off. So dip, quick wipe, then wipe off. So I'm gonna borrow your finger. Ready?
I do not want to do this. I do. Jinx, you can't fall.
And that looks like cow poop.
Yeah, that it looks like cow poop. That looks like cow poop.
So that's cow poop on her finger.
Well, see, remember how the silicone tube was constipated?
Oh yeah.
Remember, see how I'm just doing little small, short sections and wiping my finger off? That's what we need to do. Ready? Just fast and then wipe. Wipe it all off. Dip. And then fast and then wipe. Oh, wipe. I almost went twice, son. Oh my gosh. Okay, wipe and then wipe off. Got it?
Yeah.
Dip.
Wipe, dip.
Wipe and then wipe off.
No.
Hang on. That one was a big one.
This sure is a funny TV.
It's a funny TV.
Yeah, you're my TV.
Oh.
Yeah. You me.
All right, buddy. You watched Big Sister do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get you
Of
on
course I
that
did.
chair. Yep, your finger. And then just go whoop and wipe. Perfect. You have to make that sound though. Like this. Whoop and wipe. Very good. Good job.
Why do you have to make a sound?
It works better when you do that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys.
Is there gonna be stuff inside? Tomorrow?
All right.
Christmas stuff?
Thank you for helping.
Should I wash my hands?
Yes.
Oh,
All right, we're done. So we just sealed all of the corners, or applied some silicone. That way the concrete doesn't seep through, and you'll have a nice clean edge. We used DAP, fast dry acrylic latex caulk silicone, and some people, I mean, you can use the black just so that you can't. It's easier to see the silicone when you wipe it off. I just use the white because that's what we had in our house. We use it for other projects, but you can get this stuff at Home Depot.
Step 4, apply wax to the form.
Melamine's a nice, smooth, non-stick surface, but I still like to apply base wax to the form so the concrete easily slides off.
Step 3, Step 5, cut the rebar.
I'm measuring the rebar mesh before I use my grinder to cut it to length. This is going to be a relatively thin countertop, so adding rebar mesh is important because it increases the tensile strength. So in addition to the rebar mesh, I'm adding 2 strips or 2 pieces of 3/8 rebar as well.
Calculate how much concrete we need.
So to calculate how much concrete we're going to need, we went on the cubic foot calculator. You just basically have to enter the dimensions. Our slab is going to be 42 inches by 49 inches, and the depth is 1.625 inches. And it's going to go ahead and give you a calculated cubic feet, which comes out to be 1.93 cubic feet. Go ahead and copy that, enter it into your calculator, and you divide it by 0.67 because that's how many cubic feet are in a 90-pound bag of Quikrete. So we're going to need 2.8 bags.
Step 7, mix and pour the concrete.
I put a link in the description below for a concrete mixer. If you have a small project, you can do this with a mixing tub and a hoe or a shovel. But for me, because we used it for multiple projects, I went ahead and bought the mixer and it easily paid for itself. So I ended up using just under 3 bags of 90 pounds of Quikrete, and that cubic foot calculator was spot on. Just piling on the concrete here. I'm going to fill it about 3/4 of the way before I go ahead and add the rebar. This is actually an important step. After you have your concrete on the form, use some gloves and use your hands to push the concrete into the crevices. You want to do this in a rocking or a shaking motion because that will help fill the voids and get some of the air bubbles out. I'm just taking a back massager to vibrate some of the bubbles out. You can also take a reciprocating saw and remove the blade and do the same thing. The more you can vibrate, the more air bubbles come out and less voids you'll have. I add the rebar after I have about 3/4 of the concrete in, and you can see I'm shaking it back and forth because that also helps create more vibration and gets more of the air bubbles out. Now I'm adding 2 3/8 inch rebar pieces just for extra tensile strength. I'm doing the same thing, I'm vibrating it back and forth as I push it down. After you add the remaining concrete, you want to do the same thing. Take your gloves, push the concrete into the crevices, vibrate it, shake it back and forth, and that way you can get some more air bubbles out.
Step 8, screed the concrete.
Screeding is important because it levels out the high spots and fills in the low spots, but this also, you can see, adds more vibration and you can see more bubbles coming to the surface as well. Try to clean off your tools as you go. If you don't wait too long and use water and rinse it right off, it comes off relatively easily.
Step 9, wait for the concrete to dry.
I normally use a trowel to finish the top and make everything smooth, but this is going to be the bottom of the countertop, so I'm just leaving it as is. I generally wait for the concrete to dry a little bit more before I cover it with plastic, but it started to rain, so I went ahead and threw it on early. You'll see when I remove the plastic there's some wrinkles that come along with it, but like I said, it's the bottom of the form, so it's okay.
Step 10, remove the concrete from the form.
So I'm removing the form on day 6. Keeping it covered with plastic really allows the concrete to dry slowly. It holds and locks in the moisture. Here I'm removing all the drywall screws. Some of them are covered with concrete, but they easily peel right off, so you shouldn't have any problems with this. Here the chunk kids are helping remove the side of the melamine form. It comes off pretty easy. The only thing that's really holding it on is the silicone caulk. I recommend having at least 2 or 3 adults when you flip this over. It's a small slab, but it's at least it's about 270 pounds since we used about 3 bags. Lindsay really likes the raw look with the small holes and aggregates coming through, but I'm planning on patching the small holes, sanding everything down with diamond pads, and sealing everything off. I'll be showing you how to do that process in a separate video, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, drop a comment, and share it with a friend. Hope to see you on the next video.